Okay, in the beginning of this video, I put a few pointers in here to help people navigate YouTube. I've been getting a lot of questions, especially from new people. And I think there's some people that just don't know all the ways that you can search on YouTube. So the first 7 minutes on here is for people to help them find my content easier. And then if you already know everything there is to know about YouTube and getting around, you can jump to about the 7 minute mark where the video starts. Hey everyone, it's Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpening and Laser Engraving. So I want to point a couple things out to people that I think they're just missing and don't see because I get the same questions over and over and over again. A lot of times people are asking to links to things. Where do I buy my belts? And I want you to take a look right here. Now, this is my phone view, and I'm showing you that because a lot of people are on their phone and I think they just miss this stuff and they're not seeing it because it's so tiny. And I prefer YouTube on the computer, but I want you to be aware that these things are there. So, right up at the top here, you will see where it says more. And if you click that, it brings you to a bunch of pre populated links that are here. And in here, you'll see links to my shop where I keep an ongoing list of the items that I use. I also have an Amazon store where I have smaller videos, but a lot of the same products and even a bigger selection of things that are worth checking out. You will also see a link to Cliff Curry's store where I buy belts. I also have a link to the Guild of Professional Sharpeners, Wood Turners Wonders. That's where all my CBN wheels come from. And there's also two other belt manufacturers in here, Combat Abrasives and Red Label Abrasive. Also, great place to get belts. And the last link is to my website, which is for my regular business operations. But a lot of people like to see that are getting into sharpening to see what I do on my website. Now, here we're looking at one of my just regular videos, again, on the phone. But what I want you to be aware of is that, again, you'll see there's a little more again with little dots on it right up here under the description. And you want to make sure that you click on that because a lot of times I leave links in the description and other information in the description that's useful, and a lot of people miss that. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is regular YouTube if you're on the computer. So, another thing that people do not seem to know that they can do and why it's worth going to a channel when you're on someone's channel, which you can get by clicking like their banner, you will see a lot of different options on their channel that you're not just going to see if you just find one of their videos. And one of the things I found that a lot of people tell me is, "Oh, I'm searching for your videos, but I can't find them," because they're searching all of YouTube. And one of the very nice things about when you go to someone's channel, it's all of their videos in one spot. And if you come to YouTube, you'll see here there's a little magnifying glass. And if you click this and you search, you are only searching my videos. So I've had quite a few people tell me this, like, "Oh, I wanted to know if you did a video on this or if you did a video on that." And they're trying to search, but they're searching up top, up here, over top of the picture of the knife up here. If I'm search up here, I'm searching all of YouTube. But if I'm on my channel or on someone else's channel and I click the little magnifying glass, and I'll show you right here, let's put in 1 by 30. And let's see what happens. Boom. Look, this is all my videos where the word 1 by 30 or 1 by 30 shows up in there, and that's a great way to find content that I've already done. Let's see, CBN. Let's see what happens there. And look, there you go. Anything that mentions CBN, but it's only my content. So I wanted to point that out to everybody too, because I think just so many people miss it. And I constantly get messages where people are like, "Hey, have you ever done a video on this? Or have you ever done a video on that?" And I'm only doing it because clearly some of you don't know that you can search on someone's channel and then you are only searching their content and not all of YouTube. Because if you go up and obviously let's do CBN just for example, if you put CBN in regular YouTube and you click it, well, look at all the things you get here. You get CBN News, you get, stuff that's not even related. I don't even know if I would even show up in here. Yeah, we're getting CBN news, so let's see, let's try CBN sharpening. See if that even finds anything of mine. Nope. Oh, there's a Stumpy Nubs. There he is. Oh, that looks like me. There's one of mine. Okay. So, yeah, I do show up if if you put in a couple of things, but as you can then see, like there's a lot of other content here, and it's clearly not just me. So just make sure if you're trying to search my content, the very best place to do it is make sure you've gone to my channel, which you can get to by just clicking the little icon banner, and then from my channel you're going to have a much easier time searching. If you use this little magnifying glass right here, you can search specific terms and things to look for what you might be looking for. The other thing is, take a look at these other links too. There's some other cool things here. There's playlists. So I have already taken the effort to break things into certain playlists. Some of them you're seeing here are private because they're playlists that I have made for myself. So they'll look a little bit different to you than what you're seeing right here on the screen. My playlists that I created that I share with everybody are designed for you guys to make the content easy for you guys to see. And let's see, and my podcast is here. So if you're looking for the podcast, you can find that. The short videos, any little shorts that I've done, they're in here. And the other one that's interesting is, they call it posts. I'm sorry. It used to say community, but now it just says posts. So posts, sometimes I'll use this to respond to people too. If they have a question that I can't answer in a comment section, I might put it in a post and put it on and then tell them, hey, go look at the post on my YouTube channel. I answered your question, and I can give them more information, pictures, and share other things like I did when a person asked a question about the microclimate helmet and the ventilation and how it channels the air. I kind of even drew a little diagram for them and stuff like that. All right, so I hope that helps some of you out. I just felt that was necessary to help some of you navigate YouTube a little bit easier. Okay, so somebody mailed me in this Benchmade that needs some fixing. He said he thinks the previous owner, he bought it used, tried to sharpen it on a grinder. And I'm also not sure if they did this incorrectly. I suspect it's supposed to be flat on the one side, and they definitely tried sharpening it on both. But I am going to go on Benchmade and take a quick look to be sure first before I do it and start to correct it. I also am going to be using the new CBN wheel that I got from PD Tools in the Ukraine, and I'm running it for the first time in water. I used it the other day dry. It did a beautiful job running dry. Okay, so if you're going to work on expensive EDCs, whenever you have a question, it doesn't hurt to look it up. I got in this Benchmade, and I'm pretty sure it is a Woodland. I'm pretty sure this is the model. It looks exactly like it, but I wanted to check. My reason I wanted to look this up is because the customer sent me this knife, and the first thing I noticed was that someone sharpened both sides of this Tanto blade, and you will see it both ways. Sometimes it's only sharpened on one side and the other side is flat. Not my favorite way, but from the looks of this, I thought, you know what? This doesn't look like it's incorrect. They did do a terrible job sharpening it, but it didn't look to me like it was only sharpened on one side, but it looks like it could have been because it is partially serrated, and where the serrations were flat. And I was like, oh, I wonder if someone sharpened both sides of this and shouldn't have. But by coming on the site, even though it didn't tell me in the specs, I was able to find this picture right here answered my question. So right here, this one right here on the right, you can see here, this is the side in question. This is the back side of the serrations, and we can see that this is sharpened on this side. So this Tanto blade was sharpened on both sides. That's how it's supposed to be. So that is what we will do when we correct it and send it back. All right. So never hurts to check. This is a $300 knife, and you just want to make sure you're doing it the right way. So one of the challenges of sharpening a Tanto blade is you actually have to do it in two different segments. You have to sharpen the tip first and then the base. And you can see here on a Tormek jig, you can only clamp it in part of it because you want this horizontal to the jig. So it's a little bit weird on the first part. And the other thing you might need, which is the extended guide rail, because it's going to need to be up kind of high. So there's so many little scratches already in this knife. I'm going to go to the Sharpie trick because I want to be sure where we're removing from. And I'm not worried about the other bevel yet. We're just worried about this one right now, the tip. And that's really high. We're going to have to come down some. Tanto blades to me are always a little bit more like sharpening a chisel than they are sharpening a knife. Still going to come down a little bit. Now sometimes, because this has been attempted to be sharpened by someone a few times, I had to pull a few times to really get, it was so uneven. You can see now, I can see where that grind is, and that looks really good. I'm going to say maybe one turn lower. That's it. And I'm going to start there. I feel that looks good, and we'll have a beautiful new bevel in there. All right, so let's start on this tip. Let's bring you to the front. And this is pretty hard steel. It was M4, which I think was a 62 HRC. You can see we're starting to get a nice new grind there. We got to go a little deeper and a little longer. And because of the damage from the other person sharpening it, it might take a little bit to get it nice and even again, but you can see it's coming along. This new CBN wheel from PD Tools is doing a really nice job. Got to go a little bit further down here on this end. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go my other side. Now, you might run into this sometimes. Sometimes when you flip it over, the handle's in the way. No big deal. Just do your release, bend it out of the way. You can still work with it just fine, even without the handle locked in place. Your jig's really what's holding it together anyway. Might take a little getting used to. Yeah, looking good. Now, keep in mind, we also aren't going to remove it from this jig. We're going to go through all of our grip progression on this tip, because our next setup's going to be on the body, and we're not going to be able to recreate it. That feels great. It feels great, and it looks really good. Just going to do a couple more passes. Yeah, I'm good there. All right, we're going right to our 600. Now on EDCs, I tend to like I like them a little gritty. And I really like the feel of this stone. I think it's 350 grits. But I would be I would be totally fine sharpening like one of my Mora knives or something and just not going any higher than that stone. I like the feel of that. It would be great for cutting rope and things like that. All right, so now we are going to, we went from wet to dry here. So I don't have the trough set up. So I'm just gonna wipe this off. And now I am gonna count my strokes, and this is 600 grit, and this is probably where I'm stopping with this. So that was 7, and I can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'm going to show you why I'm going to keep going. I'm going to flip to the other side, but I'm going to come back. I'm seeing a little bit of right up at the tip. Do you see right there? See that old grind? So I want all that out. I want to see all 600. So even though I'm pretty happy with where that's at, I'm gonna flip over, do 7 to keep it even on the other side, but then I'm gonna come back to that because I want all that old grind out. Like I said, this is a little bit uneven because somebody else tried sharpening it with a grinder. And same thing there. Yeah, I'm still seeing the same kind of grind line from before. Okay, that was 5. And that grind line is gone. So I'm gonna do the other side. And I pushed a little bit harder that last time. And you can see we have a very nice, good looking bevel on there. So now we can do the side. So now we're gonna go back to our other stone. We are done with this. We'll strap them all at the same time. But now we're gonna do the edge leading up to the serrations, but we're not touching the serrations. The serrations on this look totally fine, so we won't be doing them at all. Now we just wanna get it to blend well together, and we're gonna do our Sharpie trick again. And you can see this originally did have exactly like this too. It had a wider bevel up front and a thin bevel on the side. That is actually how it's pictured on the website too. So the person didn't completely mess this up really that bad. It is a little all over the place, but it certainly wasn't the end of the world. I've seen a lot worse. And usually this isn't real close to the same angle. But I'm gonna, wow, it is very close. Yeah, it's, a lot of times it's quite different. But that is very, very close. So I'm gonna start here, and we'll see if I have to make a slight adjustment. I can make a slight adjustment. I'm gonna do a stroke or two here. So I'm gonna start right at the edge of the beginning of that serration. And I'm gonna go with 2 spins down and check it. I need to come up just a hair, just a little bit. Yeah, and that looks really good to me. You can see we are right kind of where we want to be. And it's not going to take much to get a burr there either. So we're going to just do a few more nice light strokes. Yeah, and I'm happy with that. Other side, a little easier to see on this side because we can see where that serration starts. Yeah, we're good. It is nice having a new CBN wheel. They're always a little aggressive in the beginning. So that thing's working pretty darn fast, which is nice. We're going to do our 600 here, and then we will be done. I just got to strop it. I can see the burr forming. Yep. We're done. Everything looks great. You just gotta strap it and then clean it, lube it, cut test it, pack it and mail it. So yeah, this was a mail order request. Yeah, I would say that's sharp. Let's check that tip. That tip looks good. Oh yeah. Look at that tip cutting. Not even, barely even putting any pressure. It's cutting great. The serrations feel good, so we don't need to touch them. And now it's looking nice and pretty again. And I will, again, show you my favorite product to use on non-shiny tactical knives. This is my favorite stuff. It's Flit's Tactical Finish. This is my favorite thing to put on these kind of knives. Spray it on. And then wipe it off. And then just wipe the excess off. It actually works really great on knives that are not matte finish too, believe it or not. It's not, you don't have to just only use it, but it's truly made to make like matte finished knives, and coated knives just come out really nice with this. Look, you can see it's taken some of the dirt off too. There must have been a little dirt on this blade. I'll buff that up a little. Yeah, looking good. Now I'm just going to lube up the inside a little bit. It's operating really nice. Yeah, I don't see any issues there. I might just put a tiny bit of scissor wax on the inside. And the other thing I like to check and make sure that it's clean inside. If I see a bunch of lint or fuzz or dirt and stuff, I'll get in there and clean that out. But nope, looking good.